Hello, this is The Thinker. Today we're going to think about one of the most hopeful new things of our time, how artificial intelligence is helping in the fight against cancer. When we think about cancer, it's normal to feel strong emotions. It's a sickness that has touched the lives of millions of families, maybe even yours or mine. But today, I want to ask you to look ahead to a future where technology and people work together to do something amazing. Artificial intelligence isn't just about computer codes and rules. It's a tool that makes us better at healing, understanding, and having hope. And in cancer care, it's opening up a whole new world of what's possible. Let's imagine for a moment the brain of an experienced radiologist. Years of training, thousands of images looked at, spotting patterns with the kind of skill that only comes from experience. Now imagine making that skill 1,000 times, or even 1,000,000 times, stronger. Artificial intelligence can look at CT scans, MRIs, and biopsies so carefully that in many cases, it's even better than the most trained human eye. But here's the amazing part. It doesn't replace the doctor. It makes the doctor even better. It gives them superpowers, if I can say that. In hospitals all over the world, special computer programs trained with millions of medical pictures are finding tumors so early that it completely changes how well a patient might do. We're talking about breast cancer, lung cancer, skin cancer, found when they are still just a tiny shadow in a picture, when getting better isn't just possible, but very likely. But behind every one of these computer programs, there's a human story. Each picture that teaches these machines comes from a real person, with real fears, and families who are waiting and hoping. The technology respects these stories, turning them into tools that can save other people's lives. If there's one thing science has taught us, it's that no two cancers are exactly the same, just like no two people are exactly the same. Each tumor has its own special genetic fingerprint, its own way of acting, and its own weaknesses. This is where artificial intelligence becomes like a tiny detective, looking at the smallest parts. It examines tumor DNA, compares patterns with information from around the world, finds specific changes, and determines which treatments will work best for the patient. We're not just talking about the same chemotherapy for everyone anymore. We're talking about treatments like immunotherapy that are specially designed for the genetic makeup of the cancer being treated. We're talking about medicines that attack the unique weak spots of each tumor, like special keys made to fit only certain locks. In research centers all over the world, patients who used to have few choices are now getting treatments made just for them that help them live longer and much better lives. AI isn't just saving lives, it's giving back hope. But let's pause for a moment. With all this excitement about technology, we can't forget we're talking about people. Real people made of flesh and blood. Mothers, fathers, children, grandparents. People whose dreams have been cut short and plans put on hold. Artificial intelligence, no matter how smart it gets, can never replace a helping hand, a comforting word, or an understanding look. The doctor is still so important because they can connect with people, explain things, and be there during the hardest times a person can go through. What AI can do, though, is free up precious time for doctors and nurses. While the computer programs look at pictures and sort through information, the doctor can spend more time on what really matters, being there for their patient, explaining the choices, and offering comfort and support. We also need to think about what's fair. Who gets to use these new tools? How do we make sure everyone can get help from them, no matter how much money they have or where they live? These are questions we all need to answer together. We are living in a special time in history. For the first time ever, we have tools that can understand information so much faster and in bigger amounts than we could ever imagine. And we are using these tools to fight one of our biggest challenges, beating cancer. The new things we see today are just the start. Scientists are already working on AI systems that could tell if someone might get cancer years before they even feel sick. Think of all the ways we could prevent cancer if we knew that. They are also making tiny robots called nanorobots that could travel through our blood, find cancer cells, and get rid of them very carefully without hurting the healthy parts of our body. Sounds like something from a science fiction movie, right? But it's closer than we think. But the real big change isn't just about the technology itself, but how we use it with our human kindness and care. It's about how we use these tools to make healthcare kinder, better, and more human. Cancer will still be a tricky and tough sickness, but for the first time ever, we have real reasons to feel hopeful. Artificial intelligence isn't a magic cure for everything, but it's a strong helper in this fight that shows who we are as people. The fight for life, for respect, and for hope. Thanks for joining me for these thoughts. If this was helpful and you liked it, please subscribe to the channel and share it. See you next time.